time for a fireside chat. We're going to be talking about my 10 favorite pieces of bushcraft gear that I own and that I use and I love and I will never get rid of. Stick around, we're going to get into it. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Thanks for clicking and opening up this video and checking it out. If you are a subscriber, thank you so much for trusting in me to subscribe and coming back and watching my videos. Today's video, I want to show and discuss what I consider probably my 10 favorite pieces of gear. Now, with gear and knives and all that stuff that we have as bushcrafters, campers, hikers, preppers, survivalists, whatever, there's tons of things that I can go into my gear room and pick and say this is one of my favorites. Lots of gear that I have that has very sentimental value, and some of those things don't get used. They just get put up on a shelf and look at them every once in a while, but things that I actually take out with me, that I've used over the years, that I've come to rely on, and that I always keep coming back to, that's what we're going to look at. That's what we're going to discuss. And I'm going to show you some past videos of me using this stuff so you can get an idea of exactly how much I love it. But I'm going to show you everything and see what you guys think. And then, of course, in the comments, tell me some of your favorite pieces of gear that you just cannot live without, you'll never get rid of. So let's just jump right into it and see what we have, because it's all right behind me. Let's check it out. So these are some of my favorite pieces of gear that I've owned for many years and have been out with me on a lot of different trips. Day trips, overnighters, weekenders, camping with buddies, just all kinds of different stuff. And in no particular order, I'm going to go through this stuff. These are all things that I feel I can depend on. They've always served me well, and I just love them, and I can't see myself getting rid of them. And I go through a lot of different gear. I buy, sell, and trade stuff all the time. I get new things in. I try it out. I don't like it, but this stuff I always seem to come back to, and there's just a variety of items here. So the first item is probably one of the more, I would say, controversial items. People kind of love or hate this knife, but it is the Tops tracker. Now this is a Tops T1 tracker. It's a much older model. I've had this thing for a very long time, and it's been heavily modified. As you can tell, the blade has been reground, so it is a very scary, sharp little convex. This thing is a wood processing machine, and you know, love it or hate it, it works for me, and that's all that really matters to me, and I can never see myself getting rid of it. It works incredibly well, and I'm going to show you some video of this thing in action and why I love it. Now, I need to take this out more. It's been a while since I've had this knife out. Almost. There we go. So this is a sheath that I recently received from Valley Reb. We did a trade, and this is a sheath I think he made or he had made for a tracker. It has a tin pouch on it and, of course, a fire steel loop, but it's a very cool heavy-duty leather sheath. Love it. Another trusted piece of gear that I've had for many, many years is the Bako laplander. Now, a lot of guys love the silkies. I like silky saws. I like all kinds of different saws. But for whatever reason, the Bako is something that I always keep coming back to. It cuts on the pull and the push. So it makes it a little bit more sturdy and versatile. Also, the blade is designed to cut wood, but also cut into bone. So if you're a hunter, this may be something that is more up your alley. I've had this one for a very long time. I think this is probably one of the first saws I bought when I first started getting into the whole bushcraft thing. I've since bought an extra one, but this one still works great. As you can tell, it's been very well used, but it's still sharp, it still cuts wood, and it's just a handy size. And of course, you can replace the blades on these. You can't go wrong with the Bako. Next is another piece of gear that some people think is kind of crazy, but I absolutely love it. And this is my pocket bellows. The pocket bellows really is such a great tool for starting a fire, especially when the fire is, maybe the wood is wet or damp. Conditions are not ideal. Maybe you don't have enough tinder. This thing will get a marginal fire going very quickly by blowing air into the main source of where you're trying to get the fire started. Now this one is actually a Pocket Bellows brand. So it is, I believe this is a made in the USA company. I don't know if they make these anymore. I've had mine for quite a while. You can get these on Amazon. Of course, you know, there's a million different Chinese versions, but this is the one that I have. I have a lot of these in all my kits, but this is the original, and this is the one that I love so much. Another fantastic item that I can't live without, of course, is a bandana. But this bandana in particular, and other ones that I have like it, is a little bit different because it is so much bigger than a standard bandana. And I can't remember the dimensions on this. I'll measure this and put a caption down below, but you can see how much bigger this thing is. And when you're camping and you're cooking over a fire, having a bandana is such a blessing to have with you, because you can grab a pot off the fire, you can wrap up your pots and pans, clean your hands, clean your face. So many different uses for a bandana, and when I find these big ones like this, I always grab them. And this is a recent addition that I found. This one, love the size of this thing. It is so much more versatile than a standard size bandana. Next tool I want to show you is the old Victorinox farmer. Now, this particular farmer is an older model because it has just the cross badge. The newer ones have, of course, the Victorinox shield. I don't know the date on this thing. I've had it for many years. It's been on a lot of trips with me. And I have it hooked up to this this two-strand twist paracord that I put together for it to make a little lanyard. And of course I've got a carabiner on one end to hook to my belt loop, and then this hooks into the ring on the farmer. Now, what makes the farmer so different and great over other Swiss Army knives or Victorinox knives is the tool selection is pretty ideal for a bushcrafter. And the first thing is the awl. The awl on this knife is in the correct position so you can actually strike a ferro rod and not have it collapse on you. So, as you can see, when you open this, it's stiff in the back. It's not going to close on you when you put pressure down on a ferro rod. So when you're striking your ferro rod, this is in the perfect position for that. And then plus the awl itself is a very handy tool for making punches in leather and even in drilling into wood. And then the other feature that I love about the farmer, the saw is perfect for small camp chores, crafts. You know, if you're cutting out wooden spoons or making a set to hang your pots, you know, over your fire, and you want to saw some notches and some wood, this little saw is a beast. It does a very good job, and it's just a handy little tool to have. Knives and Swiss Army knives. It has its standard array of items, including bottle opener, can opener, screwdrivers, and then of course the pen blade. And the Victorinox knives, the steel that they use on these, the stainless, is such a high quality stainless. It does a fantastic job. It's very easy to sharpen, stays sharp in the field. If you had to choose one pocket knife for bushcraft, the Farmer would be it. Next item that I want to show you is my canteen set. Now, this canteen set has appeared in many, many videos, in different kits that I've put together, different campouts. I've shown this thing in action many, many times. As you can tell, it is pretty well used. I've cooked over the fire with this thing a lot, and also on a lot of different types of stoves, including Esprit stoves and gas stoves. This is the Keith titanium canteen with a cup, and it does come with a lid. The Keith canteen, if you don't know this, is the company that makes the heavy cover canteen titanium set, or at least they used to. I don't know if they still do. I don't even know if heavy cover's still in business, but the Keith canteen, it's the exact same thing as the heavy cover. You can get these on Amazon, and they do work with the military stove stand. So it makes for a very nice system, and like I said, had this many years. It's a very handy piece of equipment and well worth the money, in my opinion. And then to go along with that set, this very simple little sack that Tuff Possum Gear makes, and that keeps everything contained. But this allows me to put my canteen set inside of a bag or a haversack and not get it all sooty and dirty. And that's why I love this thing. Had this for many years, and it does a fantastic job of keeping everything contained. And why we're on the subject of Tuff Possum Gear, the good old Tuff Possum Gear sit pad. This one I've had quite a while. It looks pretty clean, and that's because I just ran this through my washing machine. This went on a trip with me last week, and it was pretty muddy and dirty. And that's what I love about this particular sit pad, is that you can remove the core, pull that out, and then you can wash your cover. It has a nice blaze orange side to it. This also doubles as a signal panel. And then, of course, Tuff Possum Gear, very versatile. They've added these tabs to the sides, so now you can carry this in a lot of different ways. You can strap this to a pack. You can run shock cord through it. You can fold this thing up and stick it in a haversack. I mean, it's just a very versatile piece of equipment, and I can't imagine going out in the woods without this thing. Another piece of gear that I've been utilizing for the past couple of years is this pair of boots. And boots are such an important piece of equipment, and especially for me, because I have really bad feet, flat feet, weak ankles. I really need good support, and I need a good boot that is going to have good traction, but also keep my feet dry and warm. And this is a pair of Nortiv 8 hiking boots. You can get these on Amazon. They're very inexpensive. They're waterproof, and I absolutely love them. They have been such a fantastic shoe for me. They held up well. They're easy to get on and off. They keep my feet dry, and they're very, very comfortable. Now, for many years, I was a Merrell boot guy. All my boots were Merrell. And then I switched over and started wearing Salomons, and didn't care for the Salomons at all. Didn't really like the fit and the feel, and thought they were very overpriced. And then I found these Nortiv boots, and I am absolutely in love with them. They make a few different designs, so I will have links down below for a lot of this stuff if you're interested in it. But these are fantastic boots. I'm really happy with them. Can't say enough about them. And they've held up very well. They haven't really worn out yet in the past couple of years that I've been using them. So now this piece of equipment, it's not necessarily a fantastic backpack. There's nothing really earth-shattering about it. This is an old German mountain ruck. It was given to me by a buddy, and of course that elevates it immediately. It's a gift, so it's something that was given to me, and it has sentimental value, but it's a very simple backpack. It's an old-fashioned style backpack, very bushcrafty, just a simple bucket design with a drawstring collar and then side pockets for water bottles. Nothing fancy, but the thing that really sets this bag apart is this right here. And this patch belonged to my father. He was in the military. He enlisted, I think, after Korea and served, and he actually went overseas to Italy, and that's where his deployment was. And he was with, I believe this is the 4th Army, which is an Army group that is no longer in existence. It is now, I think, the 4th ID. So this is an old unit patch of his. He gave this to me when I was a kid. I remember getting this from him and thinking it was just the coolest thing ever, and it actually stayed in a cigar box in my bedroom for many, many years. And I dug this thing out, and I had my wife sew this on my pack. So now when I go out on trips, my dad's with me. It's a great memory. I love it. It's very sentimental to me, but that's what makes it such a awesome piece of gear that I will not get rid of. So the last piece of equipment that I want to show you is this jacket. Now, if you watch my videos and you've been following me for a while, you've probably seen this jacket pop up now and then. I've had this thing forever. It is a Patagonia soft shell jacket, but it was military issue and was part of the PCU, I believe that's what it's called, the PCU system, and this is the level 5 jacket. It was a whole system of clothing that the military came up with, and one of the contractors at that time was Patagonia, and they had soft shell jackets. They had fleece shirts. I actually have one of those as well. There was windbreakers, wind pants, rain jackets, rain pants, and I think even a puffy coat and puffy pants. So the whole system was designed for soldiers, and I think this is probably back in the 90s, maybe early 2000s, mid 2000s, when this came out. It was to, help soldiers be more comfortable and effective in the field, instead of using, old materials like cotton and all that kind of crap. So it's a fantastic jacket. It is starting to wear out pretty well. The tabs that hold the cuffs together are rotting. It's rubber. They're falling apart. I've actually lost pieces of them. But the jacket still does what it's supposed to do. It does a fantastic job of cutting wind, keeping moisture off me. It's not a raincoat. It's not 100% waterproof, but it does a really great job of keeping me dry. And because of how it's designed, it also keeps my core very cool, because these pockets are very large and it's mesh on the inside. So if I leave these pockets open, it will actually vent my body heat out, which is it's a great design, so you don't have to have pit zips. And then a very simple chest pocket that is also very generous. I find I use this thing all the time to hold my phone. This jacket, when it finally dies, I'm going to be very, very sad, because I love this thing. And of course, hood, and it has a good hood on it because it's actually designed to go over a helmet. So it's generous, and you can cinch this thing down, and it's just, as an outdoors jacket, it is such an important piece of equipment for me, because it is helping me maintain my body temperature. It's keeping me warm and dry, and it fits perfectly. It has a very good range of motion. I'm gonna be so sad when this thing dies. So if you know of a good substitute for the Patagonia level 5 jacket, let me know, because I'm looking to replace this thing. As always, thank you so much for watching my video. If you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing. That helps me out quite a bit. And share with your friends, and also leave a comment. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time on The Prepared Wanderer. Or your silky, or whatever else you use. You know, those have real fine teeth, and they're designed for a very specific purpose. And so are the teeth on this, because in my mind this is a notching tool, and that's really what it's designed for.